You are not weak because you have quit before. You are not broken because you went back.
Hello and welcome. My name is Angel, and this is the Joyful Unfolding, a space where we unfold the things that live deep inside us, our emotions, our psychology, our healing, our growth, and the honest reality of what it means to be a human. And I want to be honest with you before we begin. What I'm about to say, I have felt it myself deeply, painfully, more times than I want to admit. And if you have ever started something that mattered to you and then watched yourself slowly walk away from it, this is for you. You started, you were ready, you were excited, and then you stopped. And the painful part is it has happened before, more than once. So today I want to ask you the question most people are too afraid to ask themselves. Why do you keep quitting the things that matter most to you? And more importantly, what will finally make you stay? You know exactly how this feels. One day you look at your life and something inside you wakes up. Something that says, I deserve better than this. I'm capable of more than this. I have to change. So you start with fire, with energy, with a version of yourself that finally feels alive. But after a few days or a few weeks, something happens. Maybe you don't see results fast enough. Maybe one thing goes wrong. Maybe life gets busy. Maybe you just wake up one morning and the fire is gone. It is quiet. And slowly, without even deciding to, you find yourself going back to the old habits, back to the old patterns, back to the person you were trying so hard to leave behind. And then the voice starts, the internal voice that says, maybe I am not enough. Maybe this is too much for me. Maybe I should just stop. Maybe I was never meant for this. I want you to hear me clearly right now. That voice is not the truth. That is fear talking. That is disappointed mind trying to protect itself from feeling like it failed again. Because here is what is actually true. Quitting is not a character flaw. It is not proof that you are weak. It is not evidence that you cannot do it. It is evidence that you are human. Every single person who has ever built something real, every person you admire, every person whose life you look at and feel that quiet longing, they quit too. They went back too. They had days where nothing worked, days where nobody believed in them, days where they sat alone, wondering if any of it was worth it. The only difference between them and someone who never made it is that they refused to miss twice. They fell, but the next day, not perfectly, not confidently, not without fear, they got back up. James Clear writes in Atomic Habits, and this changed how I see consistency forever. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the beginning of a new habit. Read that again if you need to. Missing once is an accident, but missing twice is a new habit. Which means every single time you fall and choose to return, you are building the identity of someone who does not quit, one return at a time. But there is something deeper underneath all of this, something I believe is the real reason most people keep quitting. We try to build a better life before we learn to love the person living it. We set goals, we make plans, we start habits, but we do it while secretly believing we are not enough. And you cannot build something lasting on a foundation of self-rejection. Vex King writes in Good Vibes, Good Life that the way you speak to yourself shapes the life you end up living. If you keep telling yourself you are not enough, you will keep quitting. But if you learn to love yourself through the failures, through the setbacks, through the days you go back, you will keep returning. And returning is everything. Think about someone you love deeply. When they fail, do you abandon them? Do you tell them they are not enough? No, you stay. You remind them who they are. You tell them to get back up. You deserve that same love from yourself to yourself, starting today. And please, stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Nobody knows what it requires to be you. Nobody knows where you started from. Nobody knows what it costs you to show up every single day. The only comparison that matters is this. Are you better today than you were yesterday? That is the only race, and it is the one you can win always. So, here is what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, just today. First, return to the thing you were interested to start. The thing you were feeling like you were really want to have it in your life. Not perfectly, just return. One small step, because small steps repeated daily will always beat large steps taken occasionally. Second, talk to yourself like someone you actually love. When you fall, and you will fall, of course, forgive yourself the same way you would forgive someone precious to you. Third, remember this always. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to start perfectly. You just have to start and refuse to miss twice. I want to leave you with this. You are not weak because you have quit before. You are not broken because you went back. You are a human, and being a human means you get to try again as many times as you need. Start from the root, fix your mindset, heal your emotions, love yourself through the process, and others will feel it. Others will be drawn to it. Others will be changed by watching what happens when you refuse to stop. No one knows what it requires to be you. Remember that. But you do. And that is enough. You are enough. So, if this reached something inside you, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe to the Joyful Unfolding and continue to enjoy joining the people who are choosing themselves. Keep unfolding.